October 15th started like any other day in Northern California. But by noon, everything had changed forever. The emergency sirens pierced the air at 12:47 p.m. Wildfire approaching fast. Mandatory evacuation. Now. Families had minutes. Not hours. Not even half an hour. Just minutes to grab what mattered most. Sarah grabbed her dog's leash. Her golden retriever, Max, was everything to her. Her best friend for 7 years. The evacuation center was pure chaos. Hundreds of people. Screaming children. Cars everywhere. Panic in every direction. Sarah held Max's leash tight as they pushed through the crowd. She couldn't lose him. Not now. Not ever. Then a massive explosion echoed from the hills. A propane tank. The crowd surged forward in terror. The stampede hit like a wave. Bodies pressing from all sides. Sarah felt the leash slip from her fingers. No, no. She spun around frantically, scanning the sea of faces. Where was Max? Where was her boy? Through the smoke and chaos she saw him. A flash of golden fur. Max was running back toward the fire. She tried to follow, but the crowd carried her forward. Away from him. Away from everything that mattered. The last thing she saw was Max disappearing into a wall of thick, black smoke. Her heart shattered. As the evacuation bus pulled away, Sarah pressed her face against the window. Somewhere in that inferno was her best friend. What happened next would become, as we discussed, Bella watched her family disappear into the chaos. Now she was truly alone. The winds shifted. Orange flames crested the distant hills like a deadly sunrise. Within minutes, the fire had jumped the highway. Bella's neighborhood was directly in its path. Her instincts screamed danger, every fiber of her being told her to run. The air grew thick with ash. Each breath burned her lungs like swallowing glass. Embers began raining down like deadly snow. Her fur singed with each burning fragment. The house next door erupted in flames. The heat hit her like a physical wall. Bella's survival instincts kicked into overdrive. She bolted toward the nearest creek bed. As darkness fell, she huddled beneath a concrete bridge. The fire roared overhead like a freight train. Her collar grew hot against her neck. The metal burned, but she couldn't remove it. Through the longest night of her life, Bella faced an impossible choice. Stay and hope the fire would pass, or venture into the burning hellscape to find her family. As dawn broke through the smoke, Bella made her decision. She would journey into the flames. What we're about to explore defies everything we know about canine navigation. Bella had 40 miles of apocalyptic terrain between her and Mark. With visibility near zero, she relied on something far more powerful than sight. Her nose became her compass through the suffocating darkness. Every step forward meant navigating memory maps burned into her mind. But scent and memory weren't her only challenges. Her paws were already burned from the initial escape. Each mile meant walking across superheated earth that seared her injured feet. Above her, burning trees crashed down without warning. Fire behavior became completely unpredictable as winds shifted. Bella had to constantly adapt her route as new blazes erupted. The physical demands were crushing her body with every passing hour, yet something deeper than instinct drove her forward. Mile after mile, she pressed on through conditions that would stop any rational creature. But surviving that 40-mile journey meant more than just walking through flames. Every step brought new challenges that could kill her in minutes. Water was her first enemy. The fires had poisoned every stream with ash and chemicals. She learned to find puddles trapped in rock crevices, untouched by the poisoned runoff. Sometimes she went 2 full days without a single drop. Food became a deadly gamble. Most wildlife had fled or perished. She scavenged whatever she could find, even if it meant risking areas still smoldering. Her ribs began showing through her singed coat as starvation set in. Sleep meant constant vigilance. New fires could spark at any moment. She never slept more than 20 minutes at a time, always ready to run. Her burns deepened daily. Cuts from sharp debris refused to heal. Each morning brought new pain as her body broke down piece by piece. But somehow, through sheer force of will, she kept moving forward. Every survival instinct her breed possessed was being tested to its absolute limit. While Bella fought for survival in the wilderness 40 miles away, her owner Jake was waging his own desperate battle. Day 1, Jake returned to the evacuation zone the moment authorities allowed. His voice echoed through the charred landscape, calling her name. He printed thousands of missing dog flyers. Her sweet face stared back from every telephone pole and storefront window. Sleep became impossible. Jake drove back roads until his gas tank emptied, then walked for hours more. By day 4, something extraordinary began happening. Complete strangers joined his search mission. Local hikers, fellow dog owners, even teenagers skipping school. The community refused to let Jake search alone. Then came the phone calls. Day 6 brought the first sighting. A golden retriever spotted near Miller's Creek. Jake's heart exploded with hope. He raced 20 miles to the location, volunteers rushing from every direction. It wasn't Bella. The crushing disappointment nearly broke him. But another call came. Then another. False hope became a cruel pattern. Every sighting led to heartbreak. Every dead end felt like losing her again. By day 9, even the most dedicated volunteers were losing faith. The wilderness had swallowed his best friend whole. Day 11 arrived like a death sentence. Jake sat in his truck, staring at Bella's collar hanging from his rearview mirror. The search coordinator gently suggested it was time to accept reality. No dog could survive 11 days in that wasteland. That night, day 11, the shelter volunteers had begun to lose hope. Then, through the morning mist, a figure emerged from the tree line. Barely recognizable, fur singed, paws raw and bleeding. But around her neck hung the proof of her impossible journey. Her collar, melted, blackened, but still there. A volunteer rushed to call Marcus, her hands trembling as she dialed. When Marcus arrived, he couldn't believe his eyes. This battered creature was his Luna, his best friend who never gave up. Luna lifted her head. Their eyes met. She summoned her last ounce of strength and limped toward him. The reunion brought hardened firefighters to tears. Luna had walked 40 miles through hell to find her human. Months of recovery followed. Surgeries, medication, constant care. But Luna's spirit remained unbroken. Her bond with Marcus stronger than ever. Sometimes love truly is the strongest force on earth. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more.